In this video, I will show you how to perform heat perm. First, I am spraying on some hair protein, then using creamy type pre-treatment and applying it on our hair, mostly towards the ends. Heat perms are perfect for clients who tend to have very frizzy thick hair and or for clients who want bigger bouncier curls without the usual frizz that normal cold perms could actually end up giving. Make sure to comb the hair thoroughly and section appropriately. And I will start off in the nape and clip off any excess hair that we're not working on right now. Then I'm going to use some creamy type perm solution to apply close to the roots to the ends. Of course, keep in mind that the application of the perm solution would vary depending on each client. For this particular client, since she doesn't do a lot to her hair, normally the ends had minimum level of damage. So I have already applied some pre-treatment towards the ends mostly. So now I can actually apply the perm solution from root towards the end. You can't really see from the video here, but also I am applying more product on the roots and thinning out the level of application towards the end, thus making sure the perm solution will process at about the same speed from the root to the ends. Sometimes if a client has severely damaged hair, I would use a completely different product on the virgin part of the hair and the damaged part of the hair, and also use different timing to apply hair product. But as I said before, since this client rarely does any chemical procedure to her hair, the ends of her hair had minimum level of damage. Therefore, I made the call to apply it from root to the ends as long as we applied some pre-treatment, mostly on the ends of her hair where there was at least a very little bit of damage. I've decided to give her some root volume, so after applying the perm product on the roots, I am actually brushing the hair upward and situating a small light roll on the roots to make sure she has some volume at the end of the result. Her head shape was slightly flatter in the back and protruding on the sides. That's why I am only giving her volume in the center back of her head. As I said before, since she had a protruding sides in the back, you can see me brushing the hair downward there, and you can see that I would only be giving some volume on her roots in the center back. On her sides, I am creating root volume above the crest line all the way to the top because she didn't really have protruding top sides as far as the shape of her head goes. apply some product on her fringe area and use a slightly bigger roll to roll up her bang and situate it in the front so that later this part can turn into a curtain bang. If your client decided to opt out of the root volume procedure, I still recommend using at least one roll for the fringe, especially if the client has a pre-cut bang. That way, when you're applying product to her bangs, it's not sitting directly on her face. Then I am wrapping up her hair to avoid oxidization as the perm solution is processing. Then I'm going to give her a little bit of heat treatment using one of the machines. Of course, depending on the client's hair type, the product used, and many other variables, sometimes we will skip the wrapping part and or the heating part. And also, the processing time will vary depending on each client's hair type and the desired results and other variables. This would be a good time to offer your client some refreshments and or magazines and something to read because it will take some time for the hair to process. I'm going to quickly check how much longer processing time her hair needs once the machine time has run out. Looked like she needed to sit for a couple minutes longer, so that's what I told her, and she will be sitting and waiting for the hair to process further. Once the hair has completed processing, I'm going to remove the rolls and tell our clients that it's time to move to the shampoo station. After removing the perm solution from her hair completely, I'm only going to towel dry her hair so that there's a little bit of moisture before we start winding. I have already set up the perm rods and such as her hair was processing. Before the winding procedure, make sure to comb the hair and separate sections. Here I am separating the front from the back, and we will start off in the nape area first. I'm going to use a hair clip to isolate the nape area and clip away the top part that I'm not working on right now. I am using a protective foam to protect her skin and scalp from heat. You can see me using red tail comb to pull her hair through the protective foam and then start winding with the heat perm rod. For this client, you will notice I am not winding all the way to the roots, especially in her exterior, because during the pre-consultation, we have determined that we would like to keep some length for her hair, and she doesn't want to have huge volume all throughout, only on the areas that are important, such as the top. Of course, depending on a client, how many times you will wind using a perm rod and where to situate the perm rod and how big of a section to take. Things like that would vary depending on every single client and depending on every single time they decide to get a perm procedure. A perm is always customized based on the type of result that the client desires and the designer's sensibilities. For the next section, you can see I am actually winding closer to the roots, and I am essentially stacking the volume without making her hair poof out too much overall. Size of the perm rods that you will choose during the procedure would also vary depending on many things, such as obviously the size of the waves that you want, the degree of processing during the first perm solution, the client's hair type, and which part of the head that the panel is going to be situated, etc., etc. If you look closely, you can see me sort of trying to predict where the curl will be situated by comparing to the perm rod right next to it, of course, while carrying on a friendly banter with our client. Again, although you can see that with this client, I have used 4 sections in the back from bottom to the top. This will also vary depending on the amount of hair the client has, what kind of design that they desire, shape of their head, etc, etc. For instance, since this client has a lot of hair and most people have more concentration of hair in this middle area, I would actually end up using smaller sections here and also divide the sections into smaller partings and therefore using more perm rods in this particular section. You can see me actually dropping some strands of hair because her hair is heavily texturized, as you have seen from the previous video on how to cut layered haircut. So you can see me using the tail of the red tail comb to make sure that all those texturized shorter hairs are well wrapped around the perm rod. I'm going to go ahead and continue winding towards the top, and I will actually wind the very top section separately to ensure maximum volume at her back. For the final section, I am lowering her seat so I can maximize the level of volume at the top by over directing the hair towards the front about 135 degrees. I am brushing the very ends slightly towards the back so that I can start winding, but then I will again continue to direct the hair panel about 135 degrees towards the front so that the volume at her very top will be maximum. Here I am winding as close to the scalp as possible to ensure maximum volume. On the sides, I will show you the right side because it would be easier for you to see. Essentially on the sides, underneath the crest area, we are actually not winding towards the roots, and we're only winding about 1.5 rotations to keep the length and only create waves at the end of her hair, whereas on the top sides, I have over directed the hair about 135 degrees towards the front so that I can have maximum volume on her top sides. And then here you can see me working on the fringe. I am using slightly bigger perm rods here so that she can have natural big curtain bangs. I'm using double perm paper technique for her bangs because it is heavily texturized and she has many baby hairs. Using 2 perm papers will ensure that I'm able to wrap all those baby hairs around the perm rod. Once the winding is complete, I am plugging in a machine for these heat perm rods. Of course, this is not the only machine we use for heat perms. It also depends on the client's hair type and the desired outcome. Adding more pads and cushions to ensure her scalp doesn't burn up during the process, and I'm also checking the perm rods to make sure each rod is getting enough heat. Once the heat perm rods have finished processing, I am using some pressing technique to smooth out any frizz and also to remove any creases that might have been created due to the perm rods. Of course, when you're pressing the hair, make sure you don't lose the volume that you have created using the perm rods. Then you can see me using regular perm rods to wrap up the already curled hair This is to ensure that the hair curls won't loosen up too much during the neutralization process, which is the process that happens when we apply the second perm solution. Using perm rods during neutralization process isn't something that we do for every client. It will of course depend on what kind of design that we're trying to achieve and client's hair type, etc. In Korea, we call this particular step perm rod neutralization. In Korean word, it's called 로트 중화. I'm using a headband to make sure the neutralizing solution wouldn't run down her face. Here I am applying the second perm solution, which is a neutralizing agent, and I'm applying from the bottom rods towards the top, and I'm mainly using the water type neutralizer on the perm rods. This way the solution can thoroughly get inside each perm rod, and for the rest of her hair I will use a mixed neutralizer which is more creamy yet slightly runny on the rest of her hair to maximize shine and smoothness. Once the second solution has processed completely, you can direct the client towards the shampoo station so you can rinse off the product. With heat perms, how you dry the hair will affect the size of the curls and the eventual outcome. So make sure you tell your client how to take care of the new heat perm. I usually recommend using opposite hand to wind the hair towards the back so that you can have natural looking reverse waves. Initially, you're gonna wanna try and dry your hair almost completely but not quite, and then go in rotating the hair towards the back. Here you can see me doing that with my hands. Of course, as I mentioned before, for the clients, for their home care, it's much easier for them to use the opposite hand to dry their curls. For instance, if you want to create a reverse wave on the left side, the client's gonna wanna use their right hand to turn their curl backwards. On the top sides, if you want to have maximum volume, make sure you direct the hair panels upward and twist it back to create that backward flow and additional root volume. Now let's look at her outcome together.